Hi, welcome to video number 2 in this series of marketing funnels for beauty salons, hair salons and day spas with me, Rich Lawson from Apps Together. So in the first video, which I encourage you to go and watch if you haven't already done so, I cover the 4 most important principles that underpin all of these funnels that I'm going to talk through. Okay, so let's go straight into the first one, which is the client funnel, or what happens when a client walks through your door and it's just a suggested process which you can obviously refine for your beauty salon, day spa or hair salon. Okay, so let's dive straight in. Okay, so the first part of the funnel is where I think most beauty salons, hair salons and day spas are currently operating in. They have their client funnel, which is people walk in, they say hello to them, confirm who they are booked under and the services that they're needed, and they perform the services, the person pays, and off they go. Okay, so that would be one way of doing the client funnel. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go into this in a little bit more detail, but I'm going to go through the bits that I think make all the difference to will make all the difference to your salon. Okay, so as you can see, there's a little bit more to it now. Okay, so let's go through it from the start again, and we're going to just put some things around the first bits and pieces that we just went through quite quickly. So the first thing that you're going to notice is I've put staff training is vital. So they need to know whatever your process is going to be, they need to know all of this stuff and exactly how to do it end to end. Okay, so the welcome and the booking confirmation, you need to train your staff how you would like them to greet your customers. They should be, I'm not saying they need to be robotic, but they need to have a smile, say something like one of these 3 things. Oh, welcome to the salon, great to see you again, how are you today? Cool, and I've got you booked in at 10:30 for, manicure and pedicure, is that right? Yeah, please take a seat and we'll be with you shortly. Okay, so there's a set way of doing the first things, and it's the same for everybody. Okay, so whatever it is, and even if you want to add more things in there, whatever it is you want to put in, it just needs to be processed, and it needs to have a process and a procedure that your staff are trained to follow. Okay, because it makes you consistent. Okay, so then we look at performing the service. Now, in accordance with the single most important principle, we need to make sure that that service that we perform is consistent both in the process that is followed and the products used and the things said at various stages for whatever is applicable to the treatment that you're giving. So you will have a set process for each of your individual services, which I understand will take some time to put together, but start putting it in place for one thing a day. Simple to write out, just follow the service that you would like every client to have, write it down as you go along, and then literally you have your process, what you've done, and you then just put that is how this service is performed by all of your staff. So you now are getting a consistently good service, or the service that you want your clients to have, no matter which beauty salon or beauty therapist they use, or which hairdresser they get their hair cut by. I know they will still have their favourites and things like that, or whichever therapist is doing it in a day spa. So it's consistent service from every person. Okay. So once you perform the service, you will then have a number of different choices of what you do with a client at that time when they are going through the payment of whatever it is that they've had. So I would strongly encourage you to incentivize your app download. And you can do that with, if it's a first time client, okay, so there's different procedures I cover in the other funnels for people who are already clients. Okay, so they've gone through this process. This is essentially a new client funnel. 10% off the bill, a free product. So say they've had leg waxing, you might offer a free moisturizing solution, and all you've got to do is incentivize it through an app download or some other mechanism, which I will cover in different funnels, and then we can get the app download later on. You control it via, this is just a sample funnel, you control this via a coupon, so something like a checking coupon, and provide the bill. I would then incentivize a mail list, and maybe something to a monthly newsletter to win something here. So I want to cover these two sections in a little bit more detail first. So getting your app downloaded will give you the ability to message people, and if you have on our latest platform, you can not only send messages out at set times that you can schedule in the future, and then direct people to a specific place inside your app when they read the message, or any website URL, including, for example, a Facebook post that you've got on other media and other funnels, which I cover again, or you can even put an e-flyer into the full screen of the phone or tablet. Okay, so when people first download the app, part of your staff training is to make sure they say, oh, if you accept the push notifications, you could expect, between 2 and 3 messages every fortnight, just letting you know of any special offers that we've got on. We don't send loads. And if you enable the location, then you can always get directions, or some of the functionality is easier to use. But train your staff to do what you want them to do. Help the customer do this the first time via the coupon. Help them get onto your mailing list, okay, and give them a reason to do that, all of that stuff. And it will then default on our apps to offer to share that. And if you just say, would you mind just sharing on Facebook, you hit 230 friends on average of theirs. And if they are a woman who is 30 living in your town, they will more likely have more women who are 30 that live nearby as their friends than anyone else. Okay, so you're hitting your right demographics, and it's not going out on your Facebook wall, which you've probably noticed doesn't reach many of your fans. It's going out on, it's a person posting your content on their wall with a link to your app. Okay, so really important, and that then brings you back to the funnel where you have got new client acquisition that come into the same processes. Okay, so this funnel, think about, again, I will screenshot this, you need to think about your funnel, how you're doing everything, and just have a process for absolutely everything. And this bit is changeable after the performing the service, but you want to have a way to reconnect with that person. And there's some other things that need to go on here, which are things like the rebooking process. Okay, so you should always try and rebook at that time. Okay, and also some kind of review process, both of which can be added into the app. Okay, so I will cover those on a separate video, a separate series of videos actually, because they go into a bit more detail, and I will also do some case study examples. Okay, thanks very much for listening, and video number 3 will go into some of the other funnels. Cool.